Listen, man, I really need to get this off my chest, dude, because, after what I saw yesterday, as well as a lot of people, what was on the news, another mass shooting? Are you kidding me? Another one? Dude, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought with the new leadership that we have, I thought things were supposed to get better by then, especially when it comes to controlling the violence, right? Controlling a lot of the damage that has been done, like from the last 4 years, right? At least that's what I got. But yet we see another one that just transpired yesterday at a Catholic school in Minnesota. Some douchebag who just walked right in and did what he did, causing an unaliving to a couple of kids and 17 others that were injured during that tragedy. Mind you, in the Catholic school. Like, what has this society gone into? This world has been filled with more cruelty than I've ever seen in the past, making this world a lot more unsafe to just even go out in general, And what that dude did, and look, after that, he did his own unaliving after that. But dude, that was just pure evil right there. I'm saying it straight up, and clearly, it makes me just want to talk about this. I know it's not related to that, but after what I saw yesterday on the news, especially when I heard it in my dump, which just kind of made my first half of the day even worse. I decided I'm just going to talk about it as it pertains to, be like, when it comes to me just talking about friends in general, like when I discuss topics on my podcast about my friendships with whoever, you know what I'm saying? Any friends, close friends, even friends that I used to be close with, that and the friendships that ended. Never a single time have I ever attacked any friend personally in any of those discussions, dude. Why would I do that? In what universe would any friend, with some of the friends that have thought that, some of my actions were going far beyond annoying, hell, even to the point where some were just, just for me to be considered, like as if I committed a crime to them, I would never do that. I have no intentions of harassing or just like intentionally hurting their personality like that, hurting their reputation like that, hurting their characters. Yeah, I made a mistake from a couple of the videos that I did a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, they're no longer in this channel, but does that make me I know I already admitted to be a failure of a friend, but it makes it seem like as if like I committed a total crime to them, when that's not the case. I don't want any of these friends to think that I'm a threat or harm. I'm just human, just like everyone else, like all of my friends. We've all done some wrong things in our lives like that. I mean, hell, some have even done it worse, like this douchebag did yesterday in Minnesota. He clearly did a harassment action. His actions that caused the tragedy were annoying, embarrassing, aggressive, threatening, and unbearable. Which is why, all the kids were doing was just doing the mass. And for that fool to do what he did yesterday, it clearly shows of that. So, to some friends that are actually listening to this video, they should be thankful I am not somebody like that douchebag. I'm saying straight from my heart, dude. I am a good person. I have a heart. I have a good heart. I've always had a warm heart. But unfortunately, with what I'm going through, especially still being in this dump to this day, is what caused me to do what I did. Some of the actions that I made, especially from a couple weeks ago. To where now it's like after the actions, my actions that were deemed beyond annoying, that somehow I just destroyed their character or, you know, their personality, which is never true. Like I said, I would never attack any of my own friends, like personally, even if it's like guys like Andrew, for example. Why would I talk about? I mean, I know I made some jokes. Some of them were probably harsh, a little bit when I was having my bad days. But hell, that's my guy. Unfortunately, we're no longer friends, dude. After what has transpired, and like after the first group text incident, that was pretty much over. I mean, I never heard from him again, but, you know, I got upset, yeah. But I joked around angrily about him, and this and that. But I would never talk about that dude, like, on a personal level, like, as far as, like, you know, his personal life. Dude, we all have our personal lives. I would never attack him or, you know, or hell, even somebody like Jesse that you know, once upon a time was my brother who saved me from the mountain in Azusa. Mind you, we just barely met that time. I think from there we just developed our friendship quickly at that time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yo, I like, there's no way in hell I'm this kind of friend. I mean, when did I ever become this kind of person? Yes, I made a mistake. You know what? I know there's some risks with social media, including here, but hell, it's like, yeah, maybe, you know what? That's why going forward, when I start doing my friendship with topics, I'm gonna keep it to like a general title, like the one I had from Ivanka and Carmi the other day, where it said what my friendships mean to them. Maybe I might change it a little bit. Maybe make it more general. Let's say reflecting my friend, because some of the friendship with topics that I did like weeks ago, I was mostly reflecting on, you know, our friendships, how it started. I mean, for most of them, like Arnaldo and who else did I do with Ivy, Mary, Vivian, you know, those guys like that, you know. So maybe like using a proper like a general, like an official title that I can use throughout whenever I talk about these next friendships, you know, we're talking about, like, you know, I say reflecting my friendships with you know, this and that. I like to talk about two at a time now, you know, just like I did with Ivanka and Carmi. I got some other ones that I want to talk about. Hell, you know what? I think reflecting my friendships with and where they stand to this day, something like that. I'll come up with something like that. But yeah, so I just thought to do that going forward, so that at least it's a safer route for me to come up with such a title like that. But anyways, getting back to this topic, dude. Listen, I'm never gonna be this kind of person to, like, when I talk about friendships like that, like, I mean, all I ever talk about is just like, even if the friendships struggle, all I'm ever talking about is just the friendships alone. I'm never to the point where I would blame the friends themselves. It's always been about me. Every single friendship with topic video, I always made sure that I'm responsible for what caused the end of this friendship, this and that, you know. I'm not here to, like, I mean, I'm never gonna harm anyone personally. Now, I mean, I'm talking about my friends in general, and even if my friends just ended with them, like, you know, even guys like Tristan, for example, why would I attack this dude personally? I wouldn't. I mean, some of his actions, like, yeah, I mean, look, I get that. I don't agree with some of his responses, especially how our friendship ended. But dude, I wasn't gonna try to attack him personally. Yeah, I may have joked around, like, I may have clowned around, got like him before, like as far as like, even after our friendship ended. But shoot, why would I attack, friends like him, even the ex close friends, like just personally? No. Okay. I'm just saying, like, there's already enough evil in this world, in our society in general, that, like, what transpired the last couple of weeks and what I've come across, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to disagree with some of, like, what I've came across, because yeah, I guess some of it was right in regards to some of my actions, but dude, I would never be that kind of person, man. Like, there's just no way. Even some, like, I'm glad I got some other friends who are, who are on my side to know, yeah, like, they know I would never do any of this kind of stuff, especially if it's like breaking the law. No. I'm doing my best to be a better person, and, even Neil always brought this up, like, it was nothing like what I've been saying, like, while I'm in beast mode, like in those texts. But when we hang out, it's always about good times. I agree with him. 100%, dude. Like, after all, we're just like, at the end of the day, I told you, we're just human. What that douchebag did, and unfortunately, he had to do it to himself. Like, he did it himself after that whole tragedy, and it's in Minnesota, and it's like, come on, man. Those are children in a Catholic church, mind you. And it makes me think that, like, some of these friends, like I said, they should be thankful I am not one of those. I am not anybody of that mindset, of that douchebag right there. I don't think evil, for crying out loud. If you want to say my actions are annoying like that, fine. But never would my actions go way further than that, to the point where I become somebody different in that I become somebody dangerous, or, a friend, like a threat. No. Why would I? I'm sorry if I'm going to blame my dump for this. And the fact that I'm still in this dump. Yesterday, I applied to 10 jobs. Yeah. Second time I went 10 or more. But, funny enough, I only applied to one in the first half of the day. But, the second half, I was on a roll. I was happy. I applied to 8 jobs before I left, which totals 9. And then I did one more right before I crashed out in my bed. So, I'm going to keep going, man. Make the progress count. Gotta have that Mamba mentality, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, dude, listen. And I hope Mario listens to this too, because I know we have not talked, like the last couple of weeks. So, anybody listening here, I will never be that kind of friend to just try to destroy anybody's personality or character like that. No way. I've never been that kind of person. Yes, I made some mistakes in the past to piss some of them off. But that does not mean that I would ever do any harm to anyone like that. Okay? I'll always be a good friend by heart. Only God will understand me from the because he knows that, that I'm not like, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Everybody's human. We all make mistakes. And after what transpired the last couple of weeks, look, I like, at this point, I'm just going to forget about it. And especially after what happened yesterday, you know what? I've come to, it made me want to do this video because I needed to get it off my chest. So I will always be a good friend from the heart. The Jay that everyone knows here. I'm talking about, like, all my friends I've known for a long time, especially those I've known for a long time. Like, going all the way back, like, years ago. I mean, these guys should know I'm never this kind of dude. yeah, my actions maybe to them may have been way over the line, but in the end, I would never be this person. I promise. I promise that to anyone, because I'll always be a good friend to them. I've done stuff for them. They've done stuff for me too, especially for our birthdays. So I don't know, dude. There's just no way for me to see like any of these friendships end. Like I'm talking, and especially these recent ones that I feel like they may end. I hope that's not the case, because I've known a lot of these guys, and I'm including Mari too, if she's listening to this. So, you know, I hope they'll come around. I'm pretty sure they'll come around. So, yeah, this is all I want to say, dude. I just needed to get this off my chest. But I hope these guys are, dude, I love all my friends, all right? I love them all. Yeah. Everybody's different. But in the end, I still got love for them. And even if they ended their friendships with me, like, I'll still root for them. Because you never know. They'll come around. When I get a new job, maybe I'll get some of them back. Because that's where I'll have my permanent happiness and peace. You know? Once I'm out of this dump. All right, man. Y'all take care. Peace.